terms as long as we can avoid penalties. So that's the general idea. So if you're a bookkeeper, the mindset is typically going to be, am I working in a relatively small to mid-sized business, in which case I want to focus on automating the business, possibly paying as many of the repetitive bills with the help and the use of bank feeds. And if it's a larger business, then maybe I want to specialize by working within accounts payable so that I can create value by paying off all those transactions a little bit later, which has a significant impact with larger dollar amounts and with many transactions. Okay, so we're going to be paying them off with cash. Now, it used to be a check that we would write a check, of course, to pay off our utility bill and so on and so forth. These days, some people still use checks, but a lot of times things are going to be automated. Now, that leads to another problem with terminology. The fact that we have automated the system and are paying it off with an electronic transfer does not mean that the check form, in essence, has gone away, because the check form is the data input form we typically think of, which decreases the checking account. Now, in some softwares like a QuickBooks, they'll have a difference between a check form and an expense form. So sometimes they'll call it the expense form, but it's basically the same thing. It's the same exact form, basically, except the expense form doesn't have a field for a check number because it's going to be like an electronic transfer. But just keep the terminology in mind. As things change in the way the payments happen, we still need to name the data input form